I found two sources that track police officer work-related deaths. The first source is the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial. It claims there were 100 work-related deaths in 2013. This organization is headquartered in Washington, D.C., but I couldn't find the details about who the officers were or how they died. So I started researching myself to see if I could find something about those fallen officers, and I came across a few very damning reports about some of those deaths. Things that mainstream media is probably itching to expose since it would beef up their ratings, but at the same time, mainstream media has to walk a fine line given that the relationship between them and government is such an overtly incestuous one. While finding all sorts of juicy stuff for this report, I found another site called Officers Down Memorial Page, odmp.org. Unlike the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial site that claimed 100 deaths in 2013, this site claimed 105. Not only that, but they give names and very sketchy circumstances surrounding the deaths. Statists, that is, people who worship at the government altar, are constantly reminding us mere mortals that the work police officers do is so dangerous. So why, out of the 900,000 oath-taking, gun-toting, badge-wearing law enforcers, were only 105 killed in 2013? Look at this pie chart. You can barely see a tiny line to represent the 105 killed. And of those 105 deaths, how many of them died as a result of the dangers of their jobs? I started to check each case, and what I discovered turned out to be a monumental undertaking. But I've decided to make a separate documentary to expose my findings. I hope you'll agree with me that these discoveries are astoundingly horrific. So instead of turning this short vid into that documentary, I'm going to list the reasons given for cop deaths in 2013 by ODMP. Now, these are listed as quote-unquote line of duty deaths, but I'll have you know, I discovered that several of these guys died while off duty. 9/11 related illness 1, aircraft accident 1, automobile accident 25, boating accident 1, bomb 1, drowned 2, duty related illness 1, electrocuted 1, fall 4, fire 1, gunfire 30, gunfire accidental 2, heart attack 10, motorcycle accident 4, stabbed 2, struck by vehicle 8, training accident 2, vehicular pursuit 4, vehicular assault 5, for a grand total of line of duty deaths 105 in 2013. I'm going to demonstrate just one example of how this cop memorial exaggerates to get the measly 105 deaths that they claim for 2013. And I'm going to do it just by using the very first line of duty death that they listed as having been due to a 9/11 illness. Check it out. His name was Charles Wassell, and he died as a result of illness that he developed while assisting search and recovery efforts at the World Trade Center following the 9/11 terrorist attack. He was sent to the location after the attacks and remained on scene for 4 days. During this time, he, and thousands others, was exposed to airborne irritants that led him, and countless others, to develop debilitating illnesses until, in Charles' case, he passed away on May 1st, 2013. So according to Wiki, some 18,000 others have also suffered with illnesses caused by 9/11. So what's so special about Charles? As a cop, he got paid to rummage through the 9/11 remains, while countless others did so voluntarily. Heroic man, heroic death? Not so much. Now, let's contrast this with an unsung hero by the name of Benjamin Clark. According to the Daily Beast, Clark gave his life to save hundreds of lives in the South Tower on that fateful 9/11 day. He wasn't a government-paid firefighter or cop. Benjamin Clark was a courageous chef. This is the face of a true hero. Now, rather than get into the particulars here about the bullshit spewed by these cop memorial websites, I decided to group these deaths into 4 categories: traffic, miscellaneous. Now, there were actually 4 falls, but 2 of them got killed because they were clumsy, not because they were trying to save anyone. So I put those 2 under the category of clumsily/irrelevant to U.S. cop work. You see, I put the 2 falls there, 2 accidental gunfires, 10 heart attacks, the 9/11 related duty-related illness. The one bomb took place in Afghanistan, and by the way, 3 soldiers were also killed, but this website is to honor cops. The duty-related illness was some jerk-off who killed himself doing stunts on his government-issued motorcycle. One dude got stabbed in Colombia over the war on drugs, and one was stabbed to death in prison because he was careless, and there were 2 training accidents that killed 2 more. And finally, this cop website listed 30 deaths due to gunshot wounds. If I wasn't a nice girl, I'd say many of them had it coming, and I hope I can express that in the documentary. So by the looks of this graph, I'd say the biggest danger for cops is driving.
Our investigation has shown that neither officer was wearing his seatbelt. It has also shown that they were driving 71 miles an hour in a posted 45-mile-an-hour zone. These recent tragedies have brought to light a nationwide problem of police officers not wearing seatbelts.
Now, I know that there will always be an element in society from which decent human beings need protection. But right now, it seems that those evil elements are gravitating towards politics and policing. In my 3rd and final production of this series, I intend to introduce some alternatives. Because face it, what we have now isn't working. What we have now, by way of force, is a systematic extermination of certain populations. Thanks for listening. This is TigerLily reminding everyone that what you see on TV that glorifies the state is bullshit.